So I showed you when I was showing how weird Genji rides on a horse. This is how Genji rides on like a coin or the surfboard. It's much better. Don't ride him on a horse. It's fucking creepy and weird. I don't like it.
Continues. I will make use of this.
The dawn of Tychus is coming. Yeah, but Tychus was nerfed enough not too far back where I don't know if Tychus is even the answer to something like that. I don't know what damage is. Maybe something like Kale, when people are real clumped up like that, can spread a lot of damage, has decent sustain, like maybe... Genji talks a lot while you're playing him, I've noticed. Genji is very much vocal. So now that we've talked about what I think is going to be a problem with the upcoming meta, unless it goes very differently than most people are talking about. I didn't come up with this idea myself, right? I'm not, like I said, I'm not a game designer, nor am I a professional competitive level player. So these are not my ideas. These are just smart people who I think are probably right. Anyway, this map. I like the idea of this map, and I like the aesthetic of this map, and I want to like this map, but I don't like this map. And there are two main reasons that I don't like this map, and the first one is the same reason that I don't like Towers of Doom, and that's like the buildings and pushing and doing anything other than being in lane or being on the objective when it spawns. Okay, clearly not rich here. Don't feel impactful. You can't push the core, you know? You have to push the payloads, and the payloads weave around through the lanes. So it kind of just feels like 20 minutes of laning.
The battle continues.
And I don't like that. I don't like when you can't make impactful pushes and like get a keep with a good objective and oh, you know, we made up like 2 levels, or you know, they're gonna have to be defending bottom lane the rest of the game because we, you know, took keep and we have catapult pressure, and like those kind of things about heroes I really enjoy. And I don't like Towers of Doom because same reason I don't like this. I don't like that the structures on the map just don't feel super important. I get that you get more tower shots if you take them down, but that just feels boring and lame, and I don't like it.
Very well.
Can you show me how the D works? Yeah, you have this radius and you jump, and he goes like, see, this just feels like advanced laning. We're in the lane, we're walking from one part of a lane to another, escorting a cart, or we're standing in lane contesting a cart, and we're just not really doing anything. And you spend so much time escorting or not escorting payloads that you very rarely feel like you should be pushing, or that there's time to be pushing, or that there's time to be getting the mercenary camps, which have their own pros and cons. But that's not the second reason that I don't like this map. Okay, the first one I told you, I don't like when you can't push the core. The second reason I don't like it is because it is too goddamn big. And I have no problem with big maps in general, right? There are big maps out there. You know, Sky Temple is big, Cursed Hollow is pretty big, Blackheart's Bay is pretty big, and that's all fine. I don't like how big this map is for how fast the objective moves, even with just one person pushing it. If you're like over here and it's like over here, you're never going to get to it in time. And you get that feeling a lot on Braxis Holdout, where if your team, a couple people died, 2 or 3, or God forbid, all 5 people died, and you need to go contest the objective, you can't. You can't. It fills up so fast, and the map is so big that you're just stuck with it. And I feel that way on this map. It is too large for how fast the objective moves. You just can't intercept it if you weren't already there in the first place. And that problem is made even worse by you can have 2 objectives for each team spawn. If they contest the shit out of you, you can have a second one spawn while the first one is still there. Now you have this giant map with these objectives spread out like over here and up here and over there. You cannot possibly be in enough places or rotate to enough places to deal with that. You just have to give them up. And it's such a bad feeling when you know you have to give up the objective because it's just so goddamn far away and it's moving like a NASCAR and you just can't catch it. Is it okay to say the StarCraft maps are some of the worst in the game? I mean, I believe the majority of the player base would agree with you in that. I don't know anyone who really likes Braxis or Forehead Junction. I do like Genji's mobility quite a bit. I don't remember what I actually wanted to take there. I thought about this earlier and now I've forgotten. So here we are on this objective, defending it, doing a great job. We're probably gonna wipe their team. That's awesome. Now, however, we're defending this and ours is gonna spawn and another one of theirs is gonna spawn and this map is goddamn huge. And it's gonna get to the point where we gotta let something go because we just can't, like, I can't travel that far. Since the summit, and I'm sure everybody knows at this point that at the summit where some of us streamers went, we saw some things, including this map and Genji.
I am healed.
And watching people play it, I saw people play Lost Vikings, I saw people play Misha and Rexar to kind of get more bang for their buck with pushing the payload. I haven't seen that on live yet, and I hope to never see it in real life. Because I can't imagine your payload being pushed by 2 Vikings while you have 1 Viking soaking lane and then the other 4 members of your team contesting the enemy payload. It would just be awful. I would hate to be on the not Viking side of that. Oh, I need to take a thing. I did. Arthas, I did! So anyway, I like a lot of things about this map, but those 2 things that I dislike, the size of the map and the speed of the objective and just the just traveling around sucks. I don't like, and I just generally don't like maps where you can't attack the core. So those 2 things make me kind of sour on this map, but I do want to show you my favorite thing about this map, and that is the koi fish are goddamn adorable. They swim all around. If you watch them long enough, they like eat bugs and jump out of the water and do all kinds of cool shit. They're super cute. Look at them. And Nubarak's like, what are you doing? It's like, I'm looking at these fish. They're really freaking cute, and I love them. What's up, Jack Shadow? So somebody asked if I like Genji. I do like Genji, and I think he's probably pretty okay. He's a pretty okay lad, right? I think Genji is pretty good. I like his mobility and his poke. His poke is good, his mobility is good. When you decide to go in and fight, Deflect can do a crazy amount of damage depending on what you're deflecting. He has a ton of mobility, decent survivability, and I do like him. And I don't generally like melee assassins, although he's kind of like a melee range hybrid. I take a lot of the Swift Strike talents if I'm paying attention to what talents I'm taking, because I find Swift Strike to be very useful and can be a lot of damage, good for securing kills or escaping or just being a cyborg ninja, like whatever. So anyway, take a lot of Swift Strike talents. Another thing I like about the X-Force is you could use it to like attack there and then Swift Strike out or double jump out. Yeah, like I'm out of here, bye.
I know my purpose.
And I like Genji's mobility. better than I think I like Zeratul. I feel like Genji's mobility is much easier to use than Zeratul's, which is harder and just requires a generally smarter person than I am. Bye! Genji can, like you see, escape just about anybody or anything unless he's silenced. Alarak was a huge pain in the dingus-dongus when I played against Alarak. I could see that, Jack Shadow, getting the trait talents, because that's really short cooldown mobility that's really great. I can totally get behind that. I am not the person I would ever ask for actual builds or actual theory crafting. I figure it's a little early to expect like a best practice Genji build to already be out, but I feel like they'll have it soon, and until then, this is kind of what I'm doing. He's just so mobile. It's really neat, but in a very user-friendly, interesting way. Like I said, I have a hard time with Zeratul. He just has too many blinks and too many buttons, and I can't keep up with that shit. But with Genji, it seems very natural how you're moving with him. And I can't play Genji in Overwatch either. He moves way too fucking fast, and he can chase like a motherfucker. That was me! I can never, I can't do things like that, but he's pretty easy to use. I love the new Cherry Wings Ariel skins. Me too! It's so pretty. It's gorgeous. I wish I was better at Ariel, and that she was just a little more, accessible as a hero. She's kind of not great unless you're playing as a 5-man, but it's really nice. Wait for Pally to make one. I'll probably wait for one of the pro players to come out with one. The Ariel skin is so good. Yes, he can reflect Tracer's bomb. I just reflected part of the nuke from what's her name? It's any damage. He can reflect anything. He's pretty dope.
Might cannot be matched.
I don't think his personal damage. I hear it. I just heard the clicking from the payload before it spawned. Yeah, he doesn't reflect. Just read it. Become protected. Any damage blocked during this period causes Genji to throw a thing towards the nearest hero, dealing 107 damage. So it doesn't matter what he blocks. It doesn't matter if it's a Tracer sticky bomb or a minion auto attack. He's still going to reflect the same amount. But he can reflect or deflect. Okay, I'm using the wrong flect. But he can deflect anything. Any damage. It's just like Varian with upgraded parry, right? You hit it and you can see he's protected. It can be anything. But how much damage he deals back isn't affected by what.
Choose a talent.
Like, you can increase the damage of it as well. Now this one also deals an additional 33% of the damage blocked. That would be really neat for blocking things like Tracer's ult, because you're going to reflect more damage. Can you ride on top of the payload? No, it pushes you out of the way. You can set the turret on top of it, though.
MVP.
Hey, that's me! Oh, I didn't expect that. Why? Okay, well, I'm voting for me. I'm awesome. MVP Genji.